Things are really heating up in the markets right now, and you won't want to miss this as the Ripple case is coming to a close, and the SEC has virtually lost all credibility as Gary Gensler looks foolish testifying before Congress, and even his own colleagues now turn on him. TradFi markets and crypto markets are now looking really strong, as this seems to be one of the most resilient markets we've witnessed since 1997, as the S&P 500 is up almost 25% in 2023, and in September right now, in 2024, we are already up 20%. Then we have institutional asset managers that are more bullish than ever on crypto markets, as even Grayscale has officially launched their XRP trust for their wealthy clients. This will lead the way to adoption and investment to the tune of trillions across retirements, pensions, and all of the big money players. Asset tokenization using blockchain technology and stablecoins continue to be major topics among elite circles in finance. And now the CEO of SBI Holdings, which is the parent company to large banks and investment firms out of Japan, has a bold prediction for XRP by 2025, which seems likely to come true. And the coolest part about virtually all of the news that we just covered is that Ripple and XRP are perfectly positioned to take advantage of all of this growth and momentum, considering asset managers will want a piece of XRP, which is the 7th largest crypto by market cap, especially with a potential XRP spot ETF on the horizon in 2025. So in this video, we'll unveil what the SBI CEO Yoshitaka Kitao shared about XRP. We'll be covering other major announcements surrounding Japanese bank adoption for XRP from Brad Garlinghouse, and even the CEO of Japan's premier bank that is quite exciting. We'll be covering how the founders of Ripple will be attending a key meeting and consortium with central bankers in October. And of course, we'll be diving into the price action on XRP and how you can play this next few months and prepare for all weather markets. So if you're feeling blessed and bullish, comment 777. And if you're going to be the richest person in your family tree, smash the subscribe button. Before we dive in, a quick reminder that the opinions in this video are for informational and educational purposes only and do not constitute financial, legal, or investment advice. All investments, including cryptos, carry risks and potential losses. Always do your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor. We are not licensed financial advisors, and relying on our content for financial decisions is at your own risk. By watching this video, you agree we are not responsible for any losses or damages, and we do not guarantee any specific results or outcomes. Some of the links below may be affiliate links, and we may earn a commission, which actually helps support this channel and helps us to create value-based videos like this. We also hold some positions in the cryptocurrencies that we talk about, but that's only because we do what we believe in. However, this should not be interpreted as a recommendation for you to do the same. With that said, let's get into the video. Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul, and I want to start this video by pointing out the fact that Coinbase research has showed that crypto and stock markets are highly correlated. So I understand a lot of folks that are, XRP investors or enthusiasts ultimately kind of just shrug off any news in the macroeconomic situation or any news that surrounds Bitcoin. However, it's important to note Bitcoin is virtually the entire market, with the second player being Ethereum, just in terms of total market cap and the amount of money between institutional investors in these specific tokens. So they truly do drive the general trajectory and trend of the market, and Coinbase pointed that out. The correlation between cryptocurrency and the stock market is at an all-time high in September. According to Coinbase research, they're correlated nearly 50%. Bitcoin rose significantly, crossing the $64,000 mark, now at $66,000. Additionally, crypto-related stocks rose, including Coinbase and MicroStrategy. Bloomberg data indicated that the 40-day correlation, meaning how closely linked they trade, if something goes up, another thing goes up. If something goes down, likely XRP is going down as well, especially if we're talking Bitcoin. gauging that the S&P 500 and the top 100 cryptocurrencies, so we're talking XRP is included in that reading, hit 0.67. So 67% of the time recently, crypto is correlated with the stock market. So it is important to pay attention to the market. Macro factors are driving crypto prices currently, and this should continue through the Fed's easing cycle unless we see a crypto-specific black swan event. And so in order for XRP to do well, we do need a positive or a bullish macro environment. Now, this chart right here, or specifically the green line, is Bitcoin, and it's the price of Bitcoin. And then you have the candlesticks, which is the price of the S&P 500. What we're really looking at is the positive or negative correlation. However, since this point in time, March 13th of 2024, you can see that relatively most of the time they are correlated. When the S&P 500 is dumping, Bitcoin is dumping. When Bitcoin is pumping in this situation, the S&P 500 is pumping. Then they went negatively correlated from May and June all the way until about July, where the S&P 500 was putting in new highs while Bitcoin was putting in new lows. But since this point in time, and you can see specifically right over here, both have been pumping and dumping in union, which means they are highly correlated. Now, if I were to superimpose a price chart of XRP, it's going to look relatively similar. Some are more volatile, like in the case of Bitcoin, you're seeing major pumps on Bitcoin, whereas you're seeing less of a pump on the S&P 500. And then when Bitcoin dumps, it dumps way harder as well. I mean, we're talking from the high right here, we were up 18%, to the low right here, we're down 18%. On the flip side, the S&P 500 was down only about from 9% to 5% for a 4% differential right in this range here. Now, in layman's terms, this simply means that we have to watch the Bitcoin market, the macro market, and that is going to give us a clue into what's going to happen in the future. Now, let's take a look at Bitcoin. What I see first and foremost is a downtrend, a series of lower highs and lower lows. However, we're getting just to this point where we're touching all of these peaks, and now we're back in this range right here. What looks really healthy is the fact that we seem to have a triple bottom right here with a major capitulation event happening sometime in August. Okay, then we've seen a double bottom, and now a beautiful upside down McDonald's sign, if you will, for this M shape or a double bottom into the range high right here. If we break above the $67,700 range and hold it on any serious time frame on at least a daily to a weekly time frame, things are looking very positive for the entire crypto market, and that would also mean XRP. As Bitcoin breaks out to new all-time highs, again, it's like a rising tide raises all ships. We want to see the sea in a healthy environment. If we start to experience some storms in TradFi markets and Bitcoin market, then it's likely it's going to affect the XRP market as well. Now on to the big news, as 61 Japanese banks have formed a consortium to build a domestic payment platform based on Ripple that also enables cross-border payments. And here's what the CEO of Premier Bank had to say.
Actually, Japan is a very, very cash-oriented society. Surprisingly, yeah. People think we are kind of advanced, but by the way, I come from Japan. But the percentage of digital payments of all the transactions is actually only 19%. So it's actually kind of national agenda to increase digital payments. And the government encourage banks to innovate so that they can increase digital payments ratio. So now what we are doing in Japan is we created a consortium of more than 50 banks to come together to develop a completely new payments platform or infrastructure powered by Ripple's distributed ledger technology, which basically replaced the existing domestic payments system called the Zengin system. It also can be applied for cross-border payments as well.
And that contrasts with Zelle, which is a fantastic enterprise.
Exactly.
It's built on the existing rails.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's safe to say the technology behind Ripple and XRP coming from the team is widely going to be available and adopted throughout Japan, as they're already working on it. And even right here, you have Brad Garlinghouse on September 6th talking about how he met Taira Masaki, which is a House of Reps person over in Japan and posted this image. Even Tyra Masaki posted the image as well. And so when you look at Ripple and what they're doing over there, it's quite tremendous. As from the Ripple X account, they said Ripple is on the ground this week in Korea and Japan, starting off with a few key announcements. Their goal is to strengthen the foundations of crypto infrastructure, which is something that the premier CEO just talked about, to support blockchain utility and usability for institutional adoption. Now, the only thing that makes sense to me is that Ripple would actually be over there doing that unless, of course, they were integrating their technology as the underlying rails for the future of finance in Japan. Then, back in 2023, I believe, the CEO of SBI, which is a massive player in Japan, Yoshitaka Kitao, says that banks in Japan will start using XRP for transactions by 2025. This decision could position Japan as the pioneer in blockchain innovation and accelerate crypto adoption nationwide. Now, this is a massive opportunity because, like the woman just shared in the previous video that we talked about, Japan is a cash society. And so there is massive growth or room for the adoption of a cashless or a digital society, one built by great technology such as players like Ripple. The article goes on, as one of the world's leading financial service firms headquartered in Japan, SBI is a major contributor to the integration of XRP in their payments, as well as XRP in on-ramp purchases using the Japanese yen. Now, something we talked about at the very beginning of this video is not just the fact that Yoshitaka Kitao believes XRP is going to be used at every bank in Japan by 2025, but the additional RLUSD stablecoin is going to be a key component of integrating this new blockchain technology, global remittances, sending money worldwide, and ultimately, I believe if this test goes well with the RLUSD or Ripple USD stablecoin, then they are extremely likely to introduce a Japanese yen stablecoin, something that Brad Garlinghouse has actually brought up over on a Bloomberg talk. So 2025 is just around the corner, and like I said already, the next two major players up for an ETF as institutional players adopt more and more crypto, as we mentioned in yesterday's video. How JP Morgan Chase says their new alternative asset class preferred is crypto. So yes, there's going to be more ETFs coming along the way. The next two are going to be likely Solana and XRP. And that's going to open up the floodgates for trillions more dollars to flow into the value of XRP, and then really for XRP holders to start getting rich. That said, we are at the tail end of this long, drawn out, grueling 6.5-year consolidation. Now, any one of these key events could really help the price action of Ripple, but I think something really interesting is going on behind the scenes, considering that the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia, so these are commissioners that do have access to Jerome Powell and probably speak with them regularly, are hosting the 8th annual FinTech Conference, October 22nd through the 23rd this year. And at this conference, there's a list of fintech key leaders and players and banks and all sorts of people that really know what the future of finance is going to look like. That said, if you scroll a little, you'll find an interesting player by the name of Brad Garlinghouse, who's actually going to be a keynote speaker there. So we have Brad Garlinghouse right there. And if you scroll a little bit further down, you're also going to see Chris Larsen, another founder of Ripple. And what's so interesting is the fact that on the first day, Tuesday, October 22nd, I don't know if you're going to be able to tune in, you can see here at 2:15 p.m., they're going to have a moderator by the name of Shayla Warren, and they are going to be talking about recent innovations in payments. Well, guess who's speaking? Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen. Now, the only reason that they'd be sharing recent innovations in payments is probably because they are leading and at the forefront of payments globally using digital assets and blockchain technology. So let's dive in now to the price action. So right here we have Bitcoin, and like I said, if I want to see a clean and a healthy bullish environment, I would like to see a break above this trend line. We could potentially get something that looks similar to this, where we get a bit of a bull trap only for the market to break down, maybe wick or scare a few people out right here before moving back into the upside. I think that is possible, potential, likely, considering this last couple of weeks have just been nothing but upside. Sometimes it's healthy to see a bit of a retracement. That said, this double bottom or even arguably triple bottom looks extremely healthy, as a lot of people probably already capitulated down at the $49,000 level. So I would like to see Bitcoin and TradFi markets looking well and healthy. And this will provide a lot of stability for XRP to start pumping to new all-time highs. As you can see here, we had our recent all-time high, or I would say local all-time high, July 19th and July 13th of 2023 in this range right here. Since that point in time, we have been in a downtrend. And I could argue, although it wasn't a tremendous downtrend, we did get our major low here at 38 cents and what looks to be a support at 46 to 47 cents. So anything can happen, and I'm not saying that we are due to break out just yet, but typically markets look extremely bullish in October, and we are nearing the end of September. Last October looked extremely well for markets. I do believe this October is going to look extremely well for markets as we get a series of higher lows right in this range here. So we are just at the very tail end of this range right here, or this triangle pennant, starting July 17th of 2024. But more importantly, when you look at a weekly time frame, we are at the tail end of a 6.5-year triangle, starting right back in March 17th of 2027, or 2017, I should say, and January 1st of 2018. So if we break above these ranges right here, XRP is going to be flying sky high. And I would argue not just to $2, but likely up to that previous all-time high of at least $3.31. So now let's hop on down to the daily time frame and just look at the price action right here. Ideally, I would like to see a break above the 59 cent to 60 cent range right here. And I would like to continue to see price action consolidate or get really tight in this range right here. The good news is yesterday we saw an inside bearish candle. In other words, the wick didn't even come down to the previous wick right here at 57 cents and arguably was eaten up with some buyers. Now, the next candle looks even tighter and smaller right here, but we have seen consistent daily higher highs on the wicks, which is a good indicator that if this trend maintains, we are going to get a break above 60 cents and we are likely going to touch the top of this range at 62 cents, which is our next major resistance. In this range right here at 62 cents, we are down to the wire in terms of a long-term downtrend, and a break above there is easily going to take us to 75 cents. Anything above 75 cents, the sky is the limit. I think $2 is the next major play. So in my opinion, everything is looking really bullish and strong right now, from the TradFi market, from the Bitcoin market, and now it's going to carry over into XRP, especially with all of these major potential catalysts moving forward into 2025. So if you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, subscribe to the channel, like the video, it helps us out, and then go to bullrunners.com. You can find the link in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video, my friend. Goodbye.